Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's or this week's episode of Positive Vibes, making positivity and gratitude louder in a podcast world. And this morning, as past couple weeks, this is a continuation of Too Strong to Go Wrong. Sorry, I forgot to put a title over there on my Facebook Live video, but this is the title, Positive Vibes combined with Too Strong to Go Wrong, with my roommate Ricky Leslie, and this morning we're just talking about, we've been talking about gangs and young people and entering the gangs, because it's like something to do. It's,
right.
Yeah, hanging out with other guys, peers that are doing these things and, drinking, doing drugs, gang activities, and they're cool guys and it seems like cool stuff to do. So let's do it, that's the attitude.
That's how it starts off. It starts off cool. It starts off like, hey, you're my buddy, you're my homeboy, you're my friend, But then if it leads to something to a fact where, your friend might tell you, the gang member might say, hey man, hey, you look like you need some new sneakers or you want to get some new jacket or something, man. I got a hookup, man. I'll hook you up, man. Don't worry about it, man. I got you, man. And then they take care of you and you get all this new, and then you're like, okay, thank you, But it doesn't come for free. It comes with a price. It comes with, you in return now. You owe them. You don't know it yet, but you owe them. Because time to go on the way, they're gonna, ask for a favor. Hey man, I need you to, do me a favor. I need you to, what, my homeboy lives or whatever. So go by his house real quick. He's got my backpack that I left there. He's gonna give it to you to bring it to me. All right. And they're not gonna tell you that backpack consists of, drugs or whatever inside of it, whatever it is. Yeah. You're just picking it up for him, bringing the backpack because it's his backpack. No. They ain't gonna tell you, but you're gonna do it because if you say no, I don't want to go over there. They're gonna say, well, hold up, man. Remember I gave you brand new tennis shoes and a brand new clothing jacket that I got, all that stuff. I got that for you, man. So you owe me a favor. I don't want to. No, you owe me. Now it's gonna be not that you don't owe me a favor. Now you just owe. No, you owe me, man. Now it becomes aggressive. Now you owe me. And then that's how I get started. Okay, I'll do it. I'll go get it. I'll go get your backpack. So it's sad because kids fall for that. Nowadays I think these kids are a little more sharper, but at the same time they still hungry for the dollar bill. They're still hungry for money. Every kid out there right now would love to have and have a lot of money in their pocket every day. But they have to either you do it legit, got a job, you do it with a job, or if you're too young, you can't get a job. You're too young and you're still going to school, but you're getting involved with the hustle with the wrong crowd of people, and they teach you how to hustle. Then that's how you're gonna get money, and then you get caught up with the system. So, it's a rude, ugly world out there. A lot of these kids nowadays get caught up in the drug life, and then a lot of our young girls getting caught up with we got a problem with the trafficking, young kids being trafficked and getting trafficked from here to Seattle and then from Seattle to Vegas. And what happens, these young girls get caught up by a young man that somehow catches their eye. He's a good looking guy, got a little bit of money on him. Hey, let's go have some fun and whatever. And then next thing you know, fun turns into a party and drugs. And next thing you know, they got the girls drugged up. Oh yeah, my friend's gonna take you home. And next thing you know, they're on a bus or a car ride maybe to Vegas or airplane ride to Vegas. And they don't know why. They just don't. Well, no, my friend's gonna get you into modeling and do this and do whatever. And then next thing you know, they're off in one of those kidnapping ring where they kidnap a lot of these girls and then they take them out to Vegas or whatever and then try to use them as young prostitutes. There's a movie, I forgot, I can't get the name of it, but there was a movie, actual true story movie of a young lady that was, she got the same way, tricked into doing this and that, and then the guy sent her off to the high desert, like Victorville area, somewhere out there, and they had these big old containers, these metal containers, and they built little cells in them with doors, and they put the girls in there. And what was they doing? They would bring these young girls, 15, 14, 16, 17, and bring them there, and they would get these girls pregnant. They'd get some guys, somebody, and then they get these girls pregnant. And then they would wait till these girls come to term. They had an in-house nurse come and would deliver these babies. And these babies were set up for sale or adoption, fake adoption and sales to people that wanted a kid. They couldn't have kids. They were selling babies like 30,000, 40,000, whatever, to whoever the couple that the highest bidder or whatever. But it was real. It was really happening. And one of the young ladies in there in the movie, the true story girl, she ended up finding a way to escape. And she escaped almost with her life. She almost died, but she escaped enough to get to a town, and then finally told the police, the right police, because she told one police and he was in on the whole deal. And so he brought her back. But she got involved with the right officer and told him, and then, you know, it became, then they did a big old raid, and they found all these girls, like 20-something girls, in these big old containers, and babies and stuff and whatnot. These girls being drugged and all that. And it was interesting. It's an interesting movie. I like I said, I really I don't know the name of it, but I'm sure it's on Netflix, where you can find, you know, true story documentaries, whatever, about, you know, trafficking, you know, the young kids getting trafficking, and a real good, interesting story. But it kind of opens your eyes up to what really happens out here.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's bad stuff. Yeah, it's like, you know, the topic of trafficking came up with someone I was talking to the other day, but I never even, you know, picture that stuff happening.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, that stuff's, some of the stuff that happens out there is unimaginable to me, anyway.
Well, you know, and drugs play a big role in a lot of this stuff. Drugs,
Yeah.
and, you know, the meth epidemic, as well as the, you know, the crack cocaine. Crack cocaine kind of been more gone away, like. But with the meth and all that, and crystal meth, and then with the vaping now, with vaping things that they got with weed in it now, and then a lot of these, they put in other stuff in there. If you want to buy the special vape, it gets you high, it gets you really, you know, people don't know what they're putting in it, and they get these kids to get involved in that and take that, and then they, you know, they're stuck in some new stuff, liquid, that they don't know what it is, but they like it.
Yeah.
And then they're out here running the streets, going crazy and stuff. You know, I mean, you see all these stories about these people that young kids that are killing other kids, you know, because they got high on something they didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
And it's sad because we see it every day. We see it every day. The drugs get in the wrong hand, and next thing you know, they're experimenting with new drugs. A lot of it, you know, a lot of it comes through the cartels. You know, the Mexican cartels. They have their drug business that comes out. You know, comes through the East Coast. Drugs come from the East Coast and the West Coast as well. So it's not just one cartel. It's just drugs come from everywhere. You know, and it comes from Russia, from Asia, from India, it comes from everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. It does, you know, it does come from all over, and it's a sad scene, you know, that it's like, I don't know, when you know, looking back to when I was drinking and doing drugs, it's like, you know, that's what I wanted, you know, because it just took me out of myself, my meager existence, or so I thought, and
right.
It took me out of myself, made me bigger than, better than, hotter than, cooler than anything other than myself.
Right.
And just more exciting, more excitement, like we were talking about earlier with young people and kids getting into the gangs, getting into these doing these bad things, things they shouldn't be doing, because it seems exciting. It takes them out of this, out of their current existence, and makes them bigger than, better than, hotter than, cooler than anything other than what they currently are, or where they're currently at, their current status or whatever.
Exactly.
And so, it's like, once you experience, for myself, this is how I see it. Once you experience that little bit of high, it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Right.
And then it's like, keep reaching for a little higher, and you might just take that one wrong little higher, and it just takes you too far, and you're gone.
Right.
And it's like, there's no room for regret. There's no room for anything, because you OD'd, you're gone.
Yeah.
Just because reached a little too high, reach for that next little step, and it's gone.
Yeah, it's I can't, I personally never did drugs. I mean, as far as hardcore drugs, I smoked weed back in the days, and that's it, but I've never I never did drugs, because back then I seen what it did to people. Yeah. I had a cousin of mine. He'll shoot up heroin. I used to see him shoot up heroin, and he just go numb and just, and I remember seeing him one day. He shot up heroin out in the street, and he was up by the sidewalk, and he was going to walk, but he was at the sidewalk, and he thought he was still going up the top of the curb, but there was no curb there. But because he saw how on that heroin, everything becomes a 3D effect to him, from what I understand, and he just, his leg up like this, just looking. And it's like, hey, Primo, hey, you all right? He just, yeah, I'm just going to get up on the curb here, okay? And he just stuck on there trying to get on the curb for about 5-10 minutes, until he finally steps and then goes forward. And it does the weirdest stuff to people. And I've seen that, and I'm like, I don't want to do no drugs like that. Yeah. Sherm the same way. Sherm is a bombing fluid that they get from the morgue, and they dip the cigarettes in it and let it dry out. And then once it dries, then they smoke it. And in the hood in Cali, they call it water. Who got that water? Who got that water? Who got that water? And people that did that, you don't want to be around them, because them dudes would become like morally, they're strong. They come physically strong. I mean, just guys will get. I remember seeing one guy. He picked up his Volkswagen. The front of the Volkswagen moved it. He was just that strong by himself. He moved it like, oh, he's smoking that water, huh? We gotta go, man. That dude's on that water, man. One dude starts running down the street naked. He's on the water, running down the street naked. Then another dude, a good friend of mine, he's smoking the water, and he, next thing you know, one night he's over there beating up his girlfriend. And it's like, oh, dude, that ain't right. But once again, couldn't do nothing about it, because that was his business. We had nothing to do with that. But that's what Sherm did to people. It took over their physical being, and it didn't bother. They didn't care what happens to them. Yeah. They didn't care if they cut their arm open. They don't feel it. So, Sherm is a horrible drug. And like I said, I never did drugs in my life, because I seen what it did to people. Even though I was wrong about selling crack cocaine back then, I didn't understand it. All I understood was money. All I understood was survive, make money, make money, make money. That's what I was into. I was a hustler, make my money. And, and now, it's like, I look back at all that and I think, wow, I lived somewhat a rough life. There's other people out there that live rougher life than what I lived. I got friends that I know that lived a rougher life and still living a rough life. Yeah. But I lived enough just to know that, once I got myself in trouble, I went to prison, did my time, and then in and out. And then after that, I realized, what? I don't want to be in prison for the rest of my life. I don't want to be in jail and prison, waking up to men. I don't want to wake up to the guards telling me when I can get up and go eat, what time to go back inside, what time to do this, what time. Search me every time, strip me down naked, search me, look at my cavity, etc. You don't want to, I don't want to live like that in my life. So it got to a point where I got to change. I got to change the way I'm doing life, living life. I got to take my life and turn it around for the better. And I did it. I did it because I chose to do it.
Yeah.
Not because somebody made me do it. No. The system, what we always say to us will be, you're going to mind somebody, and the system was that somebody we was going to listen to. The system will correct you and direct you. That's what they did do. And I was corrected, and I was to a point, like I said, being at Old Folsom really opened my eyes a lot when I was doing time at Old Folsom. And I seen a lot of stuff in there. And at the same token, I learned a lot. I educated myself, by talking to older people in there. And at the same time, taking what I had in there and taking it to myself in my life and applying it to how I'm going to utilize my experience. And this is how I utilize my experience. To share what I've been through, to share it with young people, to share it with parents, adults, and that no matter what you do in life, if people always say you're a screw up, you ain't gonna amount to nothing. And I remember getting out of it when I was leaving prison. You tell a guard, I'm done. I'm not coming back in here no more. I got my discharge number. I'm discharging. And I remember the guard specifically. I remember him saying, "Oh, you'll be back." That's the first thing they always tell you. The guards that look at you and think, you're a great screw up. You'll be back. There's some guards that wish you well. Hey, man, good luck to you, man. I hope you stay out, man. You stay out of here. But there's those one guards that they want you to come back. So they try to imply that and impale it into your head. Oh, you'll be back, man. We'll see you again. And I'll tell them, no, you won't see me again. That's what you want. You will not see me again. If the next time you see me, you're going to see me on that, we call the TV, the idiot box. You're going to see me on the idiot box up in there. You're going to see me talking about programs, gang prevention, intervention programs to help our youth, educate our community. That's when you're going to see me. You're not going to see me in here. And so I remember there was a few guys that saw me in there on the TV when we did a couple of stuff, gang stuff in Seattle. And we did the West Side Story Project, and we did interviews and stuff. And a couple of guys saw me. Hey, Rico, I saw you on TV, man, on the West Side Story Project, man. Hey, that's good, man. Good for you, man. You're doing something positive, And that's what it was all about, doing positive vibes, positive impact, educating communities, educating people about, what we could do to better and help our youth out, help our community out, help programs to programize and let people know what programs are out here for our kids, for our youth. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that there's programs out here to help our kids out. Like the YMCA has a lot of programs there. The Boys and Girls Club have a lot of programs available to them, even for summertime. If a kid has to do summer school, the YMCA has programs there. They can get tutors. They can get tutors from Soviet, Soviet tutors will come tutor your kid there for free. They'll tutor your kid math or whatever it is, history, whatever it is, they'll tutor them. Solvin has a lot of programs connected with the YMCA and Boys and Girls Club. A lot of people don't know that. And so I'm putting that out there because, parents that might have a daughter or son that's, that right now needs summer school, whatever, I'm sure because of the pandemic, a year went by, a lot of kids can use summer school, but I think everything's going to be I think updated up for the kids to get involved in some kind of program in the youth facility and find out what's there for them so they can help themselves get their credits and all that stuff updated in their high school and all that. But parents as well need to know what's out there for them as parents and deal with their kids and problems what they're having with them. Some of the kids right now are struggling because what happened with the pandemic and then a lot of these kids have friends that died from the COVID and stuff, and family members that died from COVID and stuff. So, and it affects them emotionally, and so even with the parents get affected emotionally too. So we need to find out that what's available for parents to get counseling as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's something. That's where I'm at, and that's where I'm coming from, and what my life's about is. I mean, it's like in the past when at the beginning of my when I got clean and sober and started the path of recovery, got into the 12-step program and got clean and sober, became a member of the 12-step fellowship,
right,
and going to meetings all the time. That it's like, which I did. I went to meetings all the time for 10, 11, maybe 12, more than that.
Right.
I don't know, 12 or 13 years or something. But anyway, for the past few years, I got away from going to meetings all the time, and I still go to meetings, but rarely, a couple times a year now, and I stay connected all the time with friends, in the program, friends
right.
in the fellowship that are also clean and sober, and I've built my life around, or infiltrated my life with, filled up my life with people that are clean and sober and living in a positive direction, living a positive life.
Right.
And, like I was referring to earlier, the spirituality. And it's like my mindset isn't geared toward totally gotta stay away from that, gotta stay away from that, gotta stay away from that.
Right.
My mindset is geared toward gotta go for this good stuff here, this
right.
positive stuff here. Gotta live this direction, gotta go for this purpose.
Right.
I got this goal.
Gotta do better. That's all you have to do. Gotta do better.
Yeah, do and it's like, so far as doing better, I don't compare myself to the way I was way back then. I'm working on my 30th year clean and sober right now.
Good for you.
Thank you. I don't compare myself to the way I was 30 and 30 plus years ago.
Right.
And it's like I got tired of telling that story,
right,
repeating that story, because it kept me there. And that's just where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Nowadays I'm telling the story of, this is my goal, this is where I'm going.
Right.
And this is my purpose. Rather than all that noise. And it's like, I run races. I run half marathons and marathons, and I run 5Ks and 10Ks,
Yeah.
But when I run, I'm not in competition with other runners or racers. The only competition I'm in is with myself from the previous race.
Right.
Or it's just the only person I'm ever in competition with is me before.
Right.
Me yesterday, myself. And so it's like I'm never trying to. I'm just always, looking and living in a positive direction, and that's what I got to keep in mind for myself.
And you're doing great. You're awesome. You're doing your runs and all that, and getting involved. You always stay involved, active and stuff. Barely even see you at the house because you're in and out, gone, boom. But that's what you call positive vibes, and positive vibes comes with positive impact and positive socialism and positive output and positive input. I mean, as long as you got that positive intertwined with everything else you do, I think that you're excelling every time you do something, you excel to the next level. Because, that's how it is in life, Every day, we all excel to another level. And we're expected to excel to a higher level, but you can only do so much and just go as gradually as you go, little by little at a time, You never want to force feed, so to speak, yourself. You don't force feed yourself, because then it becomes, it's like I really didn't taste the food. I was force fed. I mean, I was more gagging, trying to spit it all out because I overdid it. Versus, you gradually, and you see the guys do the wine testing, they do this. And I used to always, why are you doing that? Just drink the dang thing, right? But, they have a reason, because they stir it up. They make sure it's stirred up really good. And, then, they do their little touch the glass. Okay. They smell it. And then one sip, excelento, muy bueno. And, because they're wine testers, they know what they're looking for. They know what kind of taste they're looking for. You give me a glass of wine, I'm like, oh, it looks good. Oh, cherry. Okay, cool. That's all I know, cherry.
My thinking around that has always been like, man, I'd have that bottle down before one of you guys gets finished sniffing and tasting that first glass.
Exactly. It's because we don't understand the concept of what a wine cellar or a wine taster is about. We don't get it. All we know is that it's wine, but they have a different view of it. They're trying to figure out, okay, what my first taste bud's going to tell me when it first tastes the first bit of it. Then they taste it again. Okay, let's try the back taste buds, the back of my tongue, see what it says. They have something that they're a whole different level than we are. We just drink. That was good, man. Give me another swig of that.
Yeah.
But that's how life is. Life is the same way. Life is the same way. If something positive steps in front of you and it's positive, then guess what? You're gonna take action and say, "Hey, I like that. It was positive. Let's go from there." And then let's go to the next one. That's what it's all about. Taking impact, taking a charge of whatever it is, take hold of it and say, "Hey, look, I like this." You know what? Or if it's not positive, where you think that positive is got a negative vibe to it, then you have your right to express yourself and say, "Hey, look, this is my input on that. I know it looks like it's positive, but I think that this did not and then critique it to the best of your ability, but critique it not to if it hurt somebody's feelings or make them mad, but critique it to say that's just my input. I'm just giving my 2 cents in it. I mean, I see where you're going with it. It's a great concept, and hey, kudos to you. I just think if you would just critique this and do this, I think it'd bring it a more flavor to it. That's all. And people respect that. Here we go with respect. Respect goes a long ways. When you give your critique and help somebody understand something, they're going to respect that and say, hey, that worked out. Shane, thank you, man. You really brought that to a little different perspective now. And now the positive is really, really great on that, man. Thank you, man. You help elevate positive to another level. That's how life works, the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, when I see negativity, I try to either steer away from that, I try to, see it for what it is. And it's like, okay, first thought in my head is, okay, is there anything I can do here to help?
Right.
Make this go, can I help with this situation and basically transform or transmute that negativity and make the situation positive or more positive, less negative, and if so, then I go for it, and try and help. And it's like, okay, well, if there's nothing I can do, then it's like, okay, well, nothing I can do here, and I don't want to stay in this negativity, so I steer over here and,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see? And, positive vibes will always rule. It would always overcome anything, you know?
Yeah.
And, I'm the same way. If it's something negative, You know, sometimes we have to just deal with it. I might. I'll say it like this. The other day before, I think it was 2 days ago, me and my nephew was playing golf at Spanaway, and we was playing with another individual. And if anybody understands golf, you know, if you don't, but you hit a ball. If you kind of mess it up and you really can't find it, you hit a mulligan, meaning that you're going to hit another ball, but it's going to cost you a stroke, another hit as well. So if I lost that ball, the first one, I'm going to hit a mulligan, meaning that's going to be my third hit, because I'm losing a stroke too, so that's going to be a third hit. When we play with this individual, and he hit the ball way off. Oh, okay, I took a mulligan. So he hits the ball again, and then he messes it up, and then hits another one. Then he hits another one. And so when we get finally down to the green, you know, we're on the green probably on the third hit, maybe me and my nephew. He gets on the green it's probably like a sixth hit, I think. But he goes and he puts it and makes it in, and he yells out, "Yeah, par, yeah." And we look at me and him, look at each other like, par. You hit the ball like 7 times already. It's no par. You double bogey, triple bogey, man. You know? And we're like playing for real. We're like, okay, bogey. I got a bogey. You know, I got a bogey too. Okay, good. And then this guy does it again over and over. And then he later on says, as we get to the fourth hole, that, I only hit one mulligan throughout the whole 5 holes so far. Only one mulligan, man. I'm doing pretty good. Like, no, you didn't. But he had a negative vibe about himself. And I told my nephew, hey, don't even worry about it, man. Just as long as he keeps hitting the ball and playing, don't even say nothing to him about it. He thinks he's only hitting one mulligan throughout the whole hole. Yeah. And if that's what he thinks, so be it. So sometimes we have to take a negative, and if it's gonna allow the negative situation not to go far ugly negative, but just like a pure negative. I don't know how to say it, but like a pure negative, it's still negative, but it's going to be okay when we get done. We're going to be fine. We just let it go. And me and my nephew, we just said, I'm not even going to take his score no more, because he's not somebody didn't explain to him, I think, and I don't think he was like all there. Me and my nephew, we didn't think he was there. His capacity wasn't all that, because he kept up throughout the whole game. He hit mulligans every hole. You're not allowed to hit mulligans, but once in the first 9 and the back 9. You get one to the front and one to the back. That's it. You get a mulligan on each hole. A hole, if you get a mulligan, you can use a mulligan on whatever, but you don't get one. That's really the rule. He used so many, but when he was done, at the end of the 18th hole, I only used one mulligan throughout the whole course, man. I did good. Yeah, you did. We told him, yeah, you did good. Good job, man, Because, what happens is that you feed off a negative. What if I would have said, dude, you're a liar, man. You did like 20 mulligans, man. Come on. He's going to argue the fact. No, because he believes he only did one mulligan. Then now I fed into the negative. Now it becomes an argumentative situation. So to avoid it, that's what we did. We just let him agree with himself. Yeah. We're not worried about it. We're having a good time, and that's how we left it. Yeah. So you always sometimes some negatives can work out for a good deed, and it can work out to be a laugh. You can laugh at later behind it and say, that was funny. That guy was funny, man. One mulligan throughout 18. Oh yeah, right, whatever. But at the same time, I'll never play with him again, because his negativity was rubbing off on us. It was getting to a point like, come on, man, you really, But I told my nephew, no, dude, we can't. Just me and you're playing. Let him do whatever, but we're playing. When you're playing golf, we're playing golf. He's playing whatever. So we left it at that, and we had a good time. We enjoyed ourselves. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, it's like he was playing his own version of golf, or playing his own game.
Yeah. It was horrible for him. Us seeing it from what we saw, it was just horrible.
Yeah.
We left that horrible alone. We just say, you know what? We leave it alone. It's no big deal. We're playing golf, and we left it alone, and we enjoyed it. So, like I said, we overlooked it so we can still enjoy ourselves. And sometimes that's how it is. We have to look at stuff in life. We have to look at if somebody ugly steps in front of us and starts. Sometimes it just overlook it. It's better to overlook it and just not even worry about it.
Yeah.
And then by the time it's all said and done, you're like, man, I'm so glad that person left now, because man, that person was just out of here, man. It was like, now we can, relax a little and smile, and that's how you have to be, just positive in anything that you do. Positive, whatever comes in your way, just being positive.
Yeah, exactly. I can remember a couple times up there at Enumclaw Golf Course when I was out there playing. This friend and I, we'd be out there playing, and I remember this one of the holes. I think it was on the back nine. I'm pretty sure it was. I had hit the ball like 3 times, and it kept hitting off to the right, and I know I lost at least a couple balls off there out in the weeds, and I'm like, dude, this freaking sucks. And I was going off about it, and it's like, they're just my friends, just like, hey man, just calm down. You have a whole nother 20 or 30 balls in your bag there. Just pull out another one and hit it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, this sucks, the whole game's shot, and this sucks, and just cussing it out and everything. And, but hey, what ended up happening is I just had to drop another ball and, go from there.
But, that sport, it teaches you humble.
Yeah.
Teaches you patience, and teaches you how to, regroup your thoughts, regroup your anger, why are you getting mad? It's just a golf game. It's just a ball. Yeah. Why are you getting upset? This is just another thing to teach you how to become a better individual. Yeah. Golf would teach you how to become more humble, more understanding, more directive towards your inner being of yourself. Yeah. It teaches you that. It teaches you how to, you get mad right away. Oh my God. But then you sit down and you can think to yourself, okay, it's just a golf game. It's a bad hit, and I try to be better on the next hit. That's all. And that's what you do.
And it's like, that's what ended up happening. That's what ended up happening was, I got mad and everything. And of course, a couple times, the first couple times that happened, since I started playing golf, it's like, first couple times, it's like, okay, well, it carried on that initial, oh man, that carried on a little too long, and, carried on for the next couple holes. By the end of the game, I may have still been a little angry at the situation, right. But, and so therefore, just that one little moment ruined the entire, or at least dampened the rest of the game.
Right.
Of golf. And it's like, but since then, the last few times I played, I remember it's like, I may have had one or two of those moments where I hit the ball off and I lost the ball, and it's like, yeah, that sucked, but oh well, I'll just grab another ball, pop it on right here and hit from here.
Yeah.
And, carry on with the game. And it made the rest of the game go so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Than the previous games where I'd been like, ugh, the whole time. And, it's like have that one moment early on in your day where someone cuts you off on the road, or just someone makes you angry, or, you become angry at someone else because of something they do or say. And it ruins the rest of the day. Sometimes if you carry it with you.
Right.
Whereas if you recognize it, okay, this is just a moment, and I'm going to leave it here and have a good day.
Yeah.
And then you have a good day.
And it could be anything from scenario of golfing, to a person. I personally had a person that I played with at one of the golf courses here, and me and him rode together. and this is way before the pandemic. And he's riding with me, and he got mad for whatever reason. I got off to hit my ball. He got mad, and he kicked the little plexiglass window out on the golf cart. He kicked it out, broke it. And I looked over like, okay. Now, mind you, that I come from that lifestyle, hold up, homie, my gangster lifestyle, hood life was coming out of me. And I was like, I know he just didn't. Did he just? I'm talking to myself like, talking to my other me. Did he just? I looked over, and then I hit the ball, and I went over there and said, hey, did you just kick the window out the golf cart? Yeah, man, I'm pissed off. Okay. So in my head, I'm debating now. Here I go again I got the angel on this shoulder, and I got the devil on this one. And the angels said, just relax, it's gonna be okay. It didn't hurt you, did it? And then I got the little devil on this side. Hey, just pick his little butt up. He only weighs 110 pounds wet. Pick him up and throw him in the pond. So I wanted to pick him up and throw him in the pond, but I said, no, well, what is that going to do? It's just going to cause more problems, create more anger, more issues, whatever. So I looked at him and just like, really, dude? You really kicked the window out of my golf cart? I said, because, I'm the one that checked the cart out. It's in my name. So look at this. When I go up there and I admit, I went up there and told the people a fib, I said, look, I said, I go up there and tell them that the window got caught in the branches in here, going in the woods to look for my ball, and I backed up and they got caught and they pulled it back and they broke it. If they go for it, great. They don't, you're paying for this, man. I'm telling you right now. And I had to kind of give him a little, so he can understand where I was coming from. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's coming out of you paying for this. So I'm letting you know now. They make me pay for it. You're gonna pay for it. I promise you, you're gonna pay for it. And I let them know that I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. And so I went up there and told them, yeah, the branch caught it, and I've been playing that golf course for 2.5, 3 years, and they know me, Rico, man, that's all right, just park it over there, grab you another cart, man. You're all right, you're fine with us. All right, thank you, man. Good looking out. No, you're fine, Rico. Go and grab it. Because I always carry a positive individuality about myself. And I'm a people person. I get along with a lot of people. I talk to people. I express myself in a great and good way. I don't get out there and be a butthole, none of that. I talk to people with respect. And so that's why they gave me that respect back. And so, sure, they just like, Rico, you're fine. Just grab another carton. So when I went back over, I said, man, you lucky, man. Everything's good, man. And then I waited for the next hole because I'm ahead. I'm thinking, I'm expecting him an apology. And he didn't give an apology yet till they got to the next hole. So I'm like, and I looked at him, I said, you know what? And you don't have the audacity to apologize to me for doing that, man. That's you do. And he wanted me to join in the golf tournament with him, to play in the golf tournament. And I said, you want me to play in the golf tournament with you? No, I'm not playing in the golf tournament with you. If you're going to do this kind of stuff, man, no, you got me messed up. I'm not doing that. I said, because what if we're winning and all of a sudden you get mad or something simple, and then you just throw your club at somebody, hit somebody. There we are. We lose. Yeah. We was going to win, but now we lose because of your stupid actions. I'm not playing with you. So I told him no, and I was ready. I was ready to leave. I was ready to just. We only had like 4 more holes to go, and I was ready to go. I'm gone here, man. I'm gone. What? I'm gone, man. Yeah. But then I thought to myself, I'm not going to let him take away my joy, my fun out here. I came out here to enjoy myself. I'm not going to let him destroy that, man. So I turned back. No, I'm not. I'm going to finish up, man. I said, you just pissed me off, man. You really made me think about what kind of character person he was. And he had told me previously that he had just lost his job, got fired from his job because he punched the monitor screen at his job and broke the monitor screen. And so they fired him because he broke his computer. And I'm thinking, I told him, I said, no, I can see why they fired you, man, because you broke your computer screen because you punched it. I said, dude, you got some anger issues, man. You need help. I said, because, if you let me help you, it's going to be different. I'm going to throw you in the pond, dude. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. I told him that. I wanted to throw you in the pond, dude. I really did. I was going to pick you up and throw you in the pond. I said, but you know what? I'm a better person than that. I said, because I have to self-check myself. You know, growing up the way I did, I always self-check myself. I always do. I have, for people that, like I said, I living the lifestyle I live and the doing my time in prison and all that. I got 2 strikes up under me. So meaning that I have 2 strikes, meaning that I personally have to walk on eggshells with anything I do when it comes involving other people. So it could be somebody fighting and all that. I got to make sure that people see if somebody came at me and attacked me. I got to make sure my head is spinning, my wheels are spinning in my head all the time. If somebody attacks me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking around. Okay, I got to make sure witnesses. I got witnesses showing that I protected, I defended myself, so they can say that no, we saw it on my behalf.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that, because if I don't have people seeing, I don't have no witnesses, I have nothing to show that I defended myself, it can go bad for me.
Yeah.
Because if I had a fight with somebody, I hit somebody and they fall down, hit their head on a rock or something, and then they go in a coma, and then boom, they can look at me. And then once again, I am a minority, yeah, so that's against me. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that all courts and all that are against minorities, but it's a ding against me, because here's the guy that hit the guy and he's white and he fell down, hit his head. Now he's in trouble because he's in a coma. They can strike me out.
Yeah.
So I always got to think before I react. That's always my number one thing for me. You know, anybody that's out there that got 2 strikes, I'm telling you, that's the best thing you could ever do. Think before you react. Think it through before you do it, before you say anything or get physical with somebody. Yeah. And I had situations like that. I had situations where a guy down in Bonnie Lake, when I was doing my routes, and 2 guys were racist towards me, were saying racist remarks. Oh, you need to go back to your country, whatever, and this and that, paper boy, you need to get the paper here on time, go back to your country, and got in my face, whatever. And the lady that worked in the gas station, she told the guy, you need to get out of my store now and quit assaulting, verbally assaulting my delivery driver. And I told her, I said, no, I said, it's okay. I told her, I said, you're my witness. So she said, oh yeah. I said, if he touches me, then it's a different story. If he puts his hands on me, meaning if he hits me or something, I have my rights to protect myself, and I will protect myself. And I told the guy, he was an older guy, and his son's outside. You need to go back to your country. You're spick and this and that. I laughed at him as whatever, man. And I whispered it to him. He was close enough. I whispered, look, dude, as long as you don't put your hands on me, I ain't worried about you, man. You put your hands on me, I have to defend myself, and it's not going to be pretty for you. And I always try to use the voice of force, so they can feel the force that I'm serious, because it works. I really don't want to get into altercation. I really don't want to get into a physical altercation with nobody. That's far most beyond what I want to do. I'd rather give them the force of my talk and let them feel it in my word. It's a lot better, because when they feel it in my word, they're like, yeah, this guy means business. Maybe we won't do nothing to him. And that's one thing I learned. I learned to use your words, your force of words, how it comes out, how you approach it. And when you do that, it gets the attention, I mean, if I was just to tell, hey, yeah, buddy, whatever, pal, just quit picking on me, please. That's going to give room for them to say, oh, he's a sucker. We're going to get him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But once I told them, like, you don't scare me, man. You don't scare me, man. Once they hear that, like, okay, wait a minute, this guy's not scared, okay. And so that's how you do it. That's how you respond.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like someone, when someone, when someone opposes you or comes at you, or for myself, when someone opposes me or comes at me with, negativity or an insult or whatever, it's like, it's first thing that comes to my mind is this one line. Have you ever watched The Big Lebowski?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, yeah.
Yeah, I love this line, but anytime someone comes at me with negativity or an insult, first thing, words in my mind are, Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah.
And that line out of the Big Lebowski, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
Just sort of like see it coming or hear it coming, and just like rolls right off my shoulder.
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, what am I gonna do? That's their mind. They've already
Right.
made their mind up, and all I can do is let that roll off my shoulder, and possibly just voice my opinion on the matter, and if it changes their mind, oh well, but I hear what you're saying about.
And it's I remember I read a book while I was in prison, and it taught me, it was teaching you how to use reverse psychology in situations that are bad.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I always think about. Like, I remember one time some guy, I was playing basketball a couple of years back when I used to play basketball, and then youngsters, you're a sissy, man. You weak, man. And so what I do, I just take that as a reverse psychology and say, yep, I'm weak, man. Yep. That's why I'm out here in the basketball court. I've already played 4 games straight, and you played one game, you lost one, you back on, you lost one. That's why I'm out here playing 4 games straight, buddy, because I'm weak. Yep, I'm weak. That right alone, once you do that, that takes away his attribution about being Mr. Tough Guy and makes him think. Yeah, it makes him really think on the fact that, yeah, he was out there 4 games straight. When I won one, lost the other one. So I actually took whatever he was trying to throw at me and just turned it around with the fact and said, yeah, I am weak. If you want to call me weak, I'm weak. But that's why I'm still out here, because I got a good team. I'm not out here because of me. I'm out here because my team is good. That's what I'm out here for. So yeah, I'm weak, dude. Yeah, you show me I'm weak, man, but I'm out here. And that makes him think now, okay, and now I beat him to the punch. And that's one thing I learned about this book, that, it was teaching you how to become more, assertive, more, how to, attack stuff like that, attack it in a positive way.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. I was messing around with the camera. Trying to get it back to the dual camera.
Oh yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, it's like, we can either take in negativity that is thrown at us, or let that negativity fester in us, and in our minds, and then we become part of that negativity, or
right,
we transmute it. Just let it, and like I was talking about, just let it roll off my shoulder.
Yep.
And maybe throw my own positive vibes. Throw my own positive vibes at that negativity.
Right. Oh yeah, I know. And it reminded me. I was just thinking. I laughed just now because I was just thinking. I remember back in elementary school. And we had to fight to be the king of the school. And I remember I was going to fight this guy named Lionel. And what we did, it was one of those things where we put a stick on each other's shoulder. Yeah, knock it off. You knock it off. You knock it off. But we both were intimidated with each other that we didn't knock off the sticks off each other's shoulder yet. We still, like, for almost, I think it was like almost a good 5 minutes, everybody was out there waiting for us to fight, the big old circle, and they're looking at us, and come on, and you can hear people start yelling, come on, somebody knock it off, Ricardo, knock it off of him, Lionel, knock it off of him. You can hear everybody pushing us.
Yeah.
But both of us, because we was both alphas, so to speak. We were both alpha guy. We was the ones, you gotta do it first. You gotta do it first, because you're scared of me. No, you're scared of me. But it took us almost 5 minutes to be, knock it off, you're not gonna do it. And then by that time we was tired of saying that, I'm not gonna fight you, man. Forget that. I don't want to fight you, man. Walk away. And we walked away, and everybody was mad. The whole audience, so to speak, was an audience, but it was all the kids that were waiting for the big fight. And like, oh, you guys ain't gonna fight, oh, man. Now they don't like us. Oh, you guys are chicken, man. Now we're both chickens. First of all, we were the main event. Now we're both chickens, and so it was just funny, because I remember I was thinking about that. I remember that so clearly. It was like we both walked away. The next day, we saw each other in school, and then I looked at him and said, "Hey, Lionel," we laughed. I said, "That was funny, huh? We didn't knock the stick off each other. Everybody was mad, but yeah." And they started calling us chicken. Man, you a chicken? Yeah, I'm a chicken, and me too. He said, and we became good friends. From that point, we became good friends because we understood that, why are we here we're not here to impress them. We're here to go to school and get an education. Why are we fighting each other anyway? Because they want us to, we have to fight for the king of the school. Well, I don't want to be the king of the school. You can't have it. I don't want to be the king of the school. So we just meet him threw it off and no, I'm not going to fight you, Lionel. No. And it was just funny because that's the school I went to. We had to fight to be the king of the school in my elementary school. A new student came, a new boy, and he was our same grade as us, fifth grade. He hey, you want to be the king of the school, man? You have to fight. What's his name? What? Even to this day, I had to fight one of my best friends, Gene Kuhn. My buddy. I had to fight him a couple of times because he was the king, and everybody said, "But Ricardo should be king because me and him going to fight after school across the park." So everybody back again, big old audience going across the park, and me and him did fight. We did fight. We had a big old fight, and it was brutal, dirty, and mud. And we fought in the mud because it rained that day, and it was muddy. And we fought, and and then they broke it up. The police came, whatever, and security, and broke it up. And hey, get you guys. And then, well, who's the king? Nobody, because they broke it up. Oh, so we didn't get no king in the school that day. So then the next day we ended up fighting again in front of a convenience store, and I think he hit me with back then we had the lunch pails, our lunch pail. He hit me with the lunch pail, and I pulled out a pair of scissors I had. Okay, pulled out scissors, and then everybody stepped in. No lunch pail, no scissors. Keep that away. Okay, you guys got to fight. And I remember he's fighting, and he grabbed me real tight and tried to suffocate me in his chest. So I reached up and I remember biting him on the cheek. I bit him. By all means, my mom always told me, by all means possible, you can't beat the guy. You bite him or kick him and whatever, but you bite him. And I bit him. And he let go. And you bit me, yeah, because you're trying to suffocate me, trying to kill me. But nobody came to the king of the school that day neither. Yeah. But it's just funny just to reminisce and think about how how idiotic it was. But we was kids. We didn't know no better. We just knew that, we was trying to impress our peers, our fellow students that went to school with us. Yeah. Now it's more violent. Now it's just not even like that. Now in 5th grade, 6th grade, they've got guns and all that. These kids now, they're shooting each other. Yeah. So it's a whole different, it just goes to show you how different it is from then to now. Yeah.
And it's like, you talking about, getting having the fight at school and the big crowd and the audience, gathering around, brings to mind back when I remember junior high and high school. I forget if I told this story before, but I was always wearing hammer pants quite a bit. I had 2 pairs and I alternated, on everything, but it's like, wear one pair one day and the other pair the next day. But, and I would have audiences or crowds. I'd have the hallway blocked up quite a few times, and I got in trouble for it. But I would be doing the hammer dance, and everyone would be watching me and everything, and probably to make fun of me or whatever. But But
you was having a good time.
Yeah, I was having a good time, and I blocked up the hallway, got an audience, whatever.
Teacher get you, come here and go in the principal's office.
And these days, it's like you're talking about. These days the audiences, they, oh no, it's like these days it's like what's going through kids' minds these days? The audience gets shot.
Yeah.
These mass shootings and everything, it's crazy.
It's more provoking. If anything, provoking to violence nowadays. It's more, come on, kill him or shoot him, or break his arm, break her leg, or whatever.
Yeah.
Pull her hair out, I mean, I see videos on YouTube all the time. I watch videos. They post up on Facebook, videos of fights and all that. You see these girls fighting, and they're just fighting. Grown women. They're grown women fighting outside front of clubs. They're grown women in high heels in their dress. They're getting their dress ripped off of them. They're out there half naked. It's like, and they're grown. Why? Because nowadays it's more of a provoking the violence. Everybody's wants to see more action, more and more. And then people fall in that, if you fall in that gap, you fall in that hype, you're going to be part of that hype, and then you're going to be part of that hype problem, then the hype issue, then you'll be a hype statistic.
Yeah.
It just all goes straight negative, just straight negative.
Yeah, it's about that time. We better be wrapping it up. I just noticed, but yeah, it's like what you're talking about, the violence, the provoking. It's like, and that all I'm thinking that all goes back to I'm right and you're wrong. Yeah. That mentality, that line of thinking, that mindset. And it's like, like I was talking about earlier with the sunrise and the spirituality, it's like I'm right, you're right, and they're right. It's like we're all right for ourselves.
Well, as long as we keep positive vibes moving and in front of us, we're going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Right on. And just to wrap it up, I just want to thank you all for watching or listening.
Thank you, guys.
Morning.
Thank you.
And it's been a great show. Rico.
It's always great, Jane. Thank you, and everybody. Like I said, there's phone numbers there, and like I said, you guys can hit me up on my Gmail, mog.otem@gmail.com. If you guys want to leave messages on my Gmail and whatnot, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions and everything. And until next time, positive vibes.
Yeah, definitely. And just to remind you, until next time, stay kind, optimistic, and grateful, and have a phenomenal day and a phenomenal week. And we'll see you next Sunday morning at 7 a.m. for Too Strong to Go Wrong. And, blessings to everybody. And at 8 o'clock for Positive Vibes, or combination or whatever. And all right, with that, we're out. Have a great week.
Have a great week. Later.